So it's been quite the year for releases. 2022 came in strong, and let's hope 2023 is just as strong. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It is your boy Danny back with another review, and in today's video I'm going to show you my top 10 pickups of the year. Now this kind of relates to the best shoes in my opinion of the year as well. I'll have a list starting from 10 to 1. Each shoe has its own review on my channel, so I'll definitely be linking those if you want a more in-depth look at any one of these. So before we get started, I did want to say Happy New Year. Let's hope 2023 is just as strong as 2022 and we personally just get more wins, because this year has been quite, it's a heavy year. It's definitely a heavy year. Let's get straight into this review. I'm gonna be starting with number 10 and then just transcending down. Let's get it. So for spot 10, we do have the Ma Maniere Air Jordan 2s. Now we have seen our resurgence of Air Jordan 2s from artists to brands. Ma Maniere gave us this pair pretty early on. We did have unions at the very beginning of the year. In my opinion, this is probably the best 2 that wasn't an original colorway, because I know in December we got the very last Chicago Air Jordan 2s. And it's crazy because those hadn't retroed in like years, almost 20 years. Ma Maniere gave us a nice touch with these. I've definitely been wearing them. You can see slight denim stains, because I'm telling you this, it's a really nice shoe to have. For that price point of around $200 to $220, I feel like it's a pretty nice shoe to own. So here we have this. will link you to the actual full review for reference. So if you want to see my full in-depth review of these when I did them when they released, it will be linked in the card above or in the description down below. But yeah, number 10 spot on my list is the Ma Maniere Air Jordan 2s. Crazy concept, crazy everything, just like the Air Jordan 1s. And then that box art it's just beautiful. So number 10, let's go straight to number 9. So for sneaker number 9, on my pickup list this year, I do have the Patta Air Max 1s in the white colorway. Now last year we had the whole Waves rendition where it had Love for All was the theme. This year's theme was Each One Teach One. We only got 2 colors. Again, link you to the full review. But it's crazy because last year the Monarchs won like the second spot on my list. Those are still very undefeated in my eyes. And I think that's why these started ranking a little bit lower on the list, because you look at these and they're just not as good as the original orange pair, but they're still nice. You do have this like vinyl covering on the very top of the shoe. Very nice off-white and white hints. So you get white here, cream, and then that like sail color. It's 3 different tones all working together. Very beautiful. And I think these only released like at Patta. I don't know if we got the US release for these, which kind of weird. But this is my top 9. It's a shame they didn't get later, like lower or higher on the list. It's just, it was such a stacked year, you know, such a stacked year. Moving on to spot number 8. I'm kind of surprised by these. I didn't think I was gonna like them as much in person. We do have the Salehe Bembury 990 V2s. Sand be the time. His box artwork always goes crazy. And these in person are just so clean. Oh man, I love them. I haven't thrown the white laces on them completely yet. I haven't worn them out. I haven't had a chance to. But crazy suede, long hair suede, details. That sand dune inspiration that he took for these, really, really nice. Like you don't really see this color too much on shoes. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Cork insole. I will link you to the full review as well. All right, let's move to the next shoe. So in spot number 7, I have specifically the Pistachio colorway of the Union Dunks. These came out in March, very clean. I didn't get these for retail, so I don't think I have a video of these out. I ended up picking them up through Trade Block. In my opinion, when it comes to dunks, they used a bit better leather with these, and the shape of the dunk itself is actually pretty nice, pretty narrow, which is something I'm not used to with like how I size for wider feet. Very, very nice dunk, very comfortable. We've seen a lot of dunks this year, and I feel like this is one of the better ones that I've seen when it comes to like regular Nike dunks. I'm not talking about SBs or anything along those lines. These are very nice, very, very nice. I'm gonna say they're sleepers at this point because a lot of people just disregarded them after like halfway through the year. In spot number 6, we do have the Nike SB Huffs. I have personally the San Francisco colorway on my list. This tie-dye pattern reminds me so much of the 2007 Nike SB Dunk Highs that I had to have these in my collection. I'm really happy with them as well. Now, the whole release for these was really crazy, really nice, the whole mystery box, and I got these directly from, well, the original pair I got came from Huff. This pair also came from Huff. I saw the receipts. But essentially, you got a mystery bag, you don't know what colorway you're buying, and I think sneakers tried to honor that, but there were some skate shops out there that sent people pre-opened bags. So, I mean, that's not the coolest thing, kind of ruins the experience. But this homage to Keith is fantastic, and these had to make it on my list. I'm never gonna read of these. Okay, so now we're moving on to the top 5 of my list, my favorite pickups of this year. And in spot number 5, we do have the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe. It is a Nike craft project, and they're so nice. So this is that Tom Sachs exclusive colorway. Very, very nice. I don't have the second colorway, but they are on my hit list to get. The dark sulfur colorway, those are also incredibly nice. I feel like these make my list because they weren't catered to just sneakerheads or collectors. They were catered to kind of creatives and everything along those lines as a general purpose shoe, an all-purpose shoe that you could just wear. The history behind it and everything that kind of led up to this model just makes like it's such a nice shoe to own. I would say if you get a chance to own a pair, definitely throw them on. Very nice on foot, very casual. It's like the perfect work shoe almost, or like everyday shoe, which is what it's meant to be. Super nice. I will link you to the full review in the bio and right here in this card. Crazy nice, crazy nice. All right, next shoe. So in spot number 4, we have the Concepts Air Max 1. The one that made it to my list, even though they're all pretty great, is the heavies. Now, this personally, this camo and all the actual like details on the sneaker is why they're on my top list instead of like me just mentioning the whole pack. The whole pack is really nice, but these heavies just, they trigger a type of thing in my brain that just brings me joy, you know? Each shoe from the collection has the same type of material. So this is usually canvas met with the denim, real bovine fur, bandana in the back, which is just another type of canvas print right here, and then a corduroy accent right here. Every color is different, and the thing that makes this shoe like so crazy to me is that for mellows and for heavies, the denim pattern, it's kind of random per shoe, so each shoe is a little bit different. I'm gonna bring out an example. So this is my wife's pair of mellows versus my pair of heavies. Traditionally, you only see these with really light denim versus these having darker denim. The darkest denim I have is actually on this sneaker right here. This is her pair. Her pair has this really deep denim and it just gives the pair more life. It's super clean, something I really wish. So this is like that one sneaker I could probably double up on if I find a denim pattern that I'm just in love with, you know? Each pair being different kind of gives that funk to it that I just love. Again, it's not a shoe for everybody. It's pretty wild, it's pretty out there. But if you love Air Maxes, these will not disappoint. Trust me, these will not disappoint. All right, let's continue the list and let's get to the top 3 of this year. This is where things are gonna get a little bit controversial. On my top 3 list, I do have in spot number 3, the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1s. Now this is part of Nike and Jordan Brand's Reimagined series. Last year we had patent breads. This year we have Chicago, or 2022, we have Chicago's. And in 2023, this year, around the holiday season, we are supposed to get a reimagined black toe. It's not necessarily gonna look like this or gonna look like the patent breads from last year. Each one's gonna have its own unique take to it. And Nike's take on this is actually pretty fire. Now, the materials on these aren't crazy. I am a fan of this cracked leather. It isn't crazy like the Ma Maniere Air Jordan 2s or the Air Jordan 1s. It's really subtle. It will peel. I have been seeing people's peel. Mine's kind of creased right here, so that's gonna peel as well. It's not the biggest deal to me. I think it's a nice homage to what they're trying to like thing or represent, along with like the cracked leather back here. It's really nice. Now, it is a little wild. Nike decided to sponsor or represent those mom and pop shops that might have like forgotten sneakers, when in 2022 there were just so many closures for mom and pop shops. That plus the quality control of people getting so many moldy pairs, which just seems to be very constant with Nike brand right now. And the overall release where we were kind of being upped and hyped to like there are so many pairs, yet it was still incredibly hard for most people to buy. I personally don't know a lot of people that hit retail. I managed to get pre-selected on sneakers for that, and I'm very grateful, but still, the release details weren't consistent for everyone. And I know there's more demand than product, but still, it felt like a normal Air Jordan 1 release with a bunch of hype around it, versus like taxis, where the hype didn't exist, so they sat and restocked the entire year. This one though, probably my favorite Air Jordan 1 of the year, and they're top 3 on my list, so let's get to the final 2. Now these 2 next spots, I really had a big internal debate about. After I picked these up, these were my number 1 for a really long time, and I think I mentioned it in my video as well, but there's one shoe that really passed that for me. In front of us today, we have the Ma Maniere Air Jordan 4s. I do have the cream laces from the Air Jordan 2s on here, so if you're asking, I don't know what brands you can buy. I'm not really sure. You can, if you have a pair of the Air Jordan 1s or the Air Jordan 2 Ma Maniere collections or collabs, throw them on here. Very nice. And I feel like this shoe is so nice. I've heard people complain about quality. They expected something better, but they failed, or at least refused to acknowledge that at that 220 price point, or in this case 225, it was only $5 more expensive than Lightnings from this same year. And it gave us a nice box collection. It gave us quilted insides, a quilted tongue. It kept that Ma Maniere brand like with it. Like, this feels like a perfect shoe. It's just not like, they didn't do what they did with the Air Jordan 2s, which is just grabbed the Air Jordan 1 model and just repurpose it. I know a lot of people were waiting for the Air Jordan 3s, the Ma Maniere 3 colorway and color blocking on a 4, but I'm glad they took it a different route, stayed consistent with their brand language, and gave us this really nice shade of purple that we don't see too often. I know a lot of people are like, it's a purple, is a brown, is a burgundy. It's technically violet or a shade of purple. Very nice. Very, very, very clean. Now let's go to my number 1. So in spot number 1, we do have the Concepts Nike SB Dunk Low. This is the Orange Lobster and my favorite release of this year. Full review is on my channel. I did manage to get the special box version of these, so I do have the Medicom, the additional big box, but those are already on display and these are going to be in the rotation. So Concepts celebrating its 25th year, plus Nike SB celebrating its 20th year anniversary. These just feel like that perfect mesh of both worlds. For me, Blue Lobsters were the first Nike SB I was able to buy for retail. I remember skipping school, going to the shop. It's just like a whole core memory for me in like these last almost 16 years of being a sneakerhead. That's something that I kind of revisited with this sneaker, and I feel like this is just such a nicer homage to those original 2 colorways, something we didn't necessarily get with the green and purple pair from 2018. Those feelings came back with these. This is such a crazy nice shoe. Here we go. Again, I'll link you to the full review if you want to know. You might not agree with this list. A lot of people had these lower on their list, but for me, this is my sneaker of the year. Bam. It's just so clean, so nice. I can't wait to wear these throughout 2023 and for the next 10 years to come. This is that one shoe that's just not leaving my collection. All right. That's probably where I'm gonna end this video. I did want to have one honorable mention. I don't have them yet, they're on the way, and it doesn't change my list too up, but Travis Scott's reverse Mochas, those do top my list. They're around like the 4 to 5 spot. kind of like my gripe with Pattas. They're just not as good as the original Air Jordan 1 lows. And for that, they don't rank as high on my list. I feel like they're more hype than anything, but I really do like those colorways. But it's weird now that we're in 2023, we do have the women's colorway coming out, which is kind of like the reverse Mocha, a little bit darker and better, because I'm a common sucker for olive. That's where I'm ending this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for so much support over this last year. Hopefully this new year. We'll see you guys in the next one, or I'll see you in the next one. Be easy. Peace.